beloved. Happy after Christmas Kwanzaa holiday. How y'all doing? It's good to see you. Welcome back to another chapter of the book of Sean. Hope you had a good holiday. I hope you got a lot of gifts. You gave a lot of gifts. Hope you were filled with family and fun and all of the wonderful things that make this time of the year so special. Look, people, we got a little special holiday background going on because we're in the Christmas spirit here at the book of Sean. See all that red behind me? It's good to see you. I missed you. Did you miss me? Don't act like you didn't miss me. If you did you miss me? I know I missed you too. It's good to see you. Listen, I have a great show for you tonight. We're doing a lot. We got a lot going on tonight. I'm going to do some headlines tonight. I'm going to tell you what's going on in the world. I'm going to add some holiday cheer for you. I got some great stories of people doing incredible things during this holiday season for other people. And I'm going to answer some of your Ask Dr. Sean questions, as I always do. We're going to have a good time tonight, people. Let's start where we always start, because you got to start at the beginning. Remember that, Steve-O. You got to start at the beginning. And here in the book of Sean, the beginning happens to be a few headlines. So did you guys hear over the break while I was gone, Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia privately raised concerns about how parents would use their child tax credit checks. He thought they would spend it on drugs and other ill repute behavior. So Joe Manchin is worried about how Americans are spending the money that Americans gave the government. And now they're finally getting some of the money that Americans gave the government back. Because you do understand that the money that the government spends and all the things the government spends money on happens to be your money. Not like the government just sort of magically comes up with it. It's your money. It's money that you send back. Sales tax, income tax, whatever it is. And by the way, the child tax credit has overwhelmingly been used by families to help them meet the immediate needs of their children. And so the money's been, numerous reports have proven this out. You can Google all the reports that are out there, that most families spent that money on essential needs like rent and food and supplies and school supplies. Very few families spent the money on drugs. The hell is wrong with Joe Manchin? You know, who does Joe Manchin think he is? Trying to be paternalistic and think he has the right to sort of decide how people are going to spend their money, the child tax credit. That he is omnipotent, ubiquitous, all-knowing. He's concerned about how Americans are spending the money. How about this? Steve, you ready for this? How about we talk about where Joe Manchin gets his money from? Uh-oh. Welcome back, people. I ain't changed. How about let's talk about where he gets his money from. Okay, Joe Manchin is the senator from West Virginia. Everybody say it with me. West Virginia. Say it one more time. West Virginia. And guess where most of his money comes from? New York. Joe Manchin is the senator from West Virginia, and most of his money comes from New York. Most of Joe Manchin's money comes from 3 states: New York, Texas, and California. And if you want to add a 4th, Illinois. And why does most of his money come from New York? What's in New York, Steve? Do you know what's in New York, Steve? Let me help you. What's in New York is Wall Street. Most of Joe Manchin's money comes from the financial services industry. Ain't no financial services in West Virginia. Do they have banks in West Virginia? I don't know. They have coal mines, you know. I've never been to West Virginia. Shout out to West Virginia. I got nothing against you. I'm just saying your senator is getting his money from New York. And from Texas. What's in Texas, everybody? You ready? The stars at night, they shine so bright. Deep in. What's in Texas? Oil. Gets his money from New York, Wall Street, gets his money from Texas, oil, and gets his money from California. What's in California? Big tech. Big tech. He's from West Virginia, getting money from Texas, getting money from California, and New York. Shakespeare puts it this way: what is he to Hecuba, Hecuba to him that he should weep for Hecuba? I'll explain it later. I'm just saying, who the hell does Joe Manchin think he is? So Joe, what are you doing with your money? I'll tell you what I'm doing with my money after you tell me what you're doing with yours and why your money comes from a place where you don't live. Hello. Come on, Joe. Talk to me about this. You see? I don't know what he's spending his money on, and quite frankly, it really isn't any of my business, but what's also not his business is what I'm spending my money on. or what you're spending your money on as it relates to your family. You know, he doesn't have the right to be paternalistic about what you do with the money that you've given to the government, that the government's finally decided under Joe Biden to give back to you. Thank you, President Biden. Thank you, Kamala Harris. I know some of y'all are mad, but thank you, Democrats, for finally deciding that the American people should get some of their money back and not just spend it on bombs, new planes, new guns and boats to blow other people up. Other poor black and brown people, I might add. Welcome back, people. But here's the thing, here's the wisdom. Ready for this? Watch people who are projecting what they're doing on you. Go on and teach, doctor. Watch people who are projecting what they're doing on you, because he's concerned about what you're doing with your money when you should be concerned about where his money comes from. Watch people who are projecting, because people will project on you what's really going on inside of them. And given all the money that the government has wasted on stupid stuff, a United States Senator is not in a position to act like he wants to be fiscally responsible. How about Joe Manchin decide that he wants to pass the John Lewis voting rights bill? How about he do that? How about you do that, Joe? How about you go and pass the, Build Back Better? Go past that, since you're concerned about something. They'd be glad my mama is in here, because she'd say something that wasn't holy. I'm holy. I'm not. Let's do another headline. Check this one out. This one is from my main man, Hailey. This is from my main man, Hailey, in the control room. Sheikh Mohammed, I'm not trying to pronounce his whole name, it's not going to happen. Sheikh Mohammed, who is the ruler of Dubai, has been ordered to pay his ex-wife, Princess Haya, listen to this, people, $728 million. Whoa! Jesus! Let me look at it again. $728 million. I would be crying every single day if I had to pay somebody $728 million who I obviously don't like. And I got to pay you. What are they saying? What are they saying in the street, Steve-O? It's cheaper to keep her. I'm just saying, listen, brother. Woo! Okay, I'm going to say this. For $728 million, I will marry the Sheik. And I don't care what y'all think. For $728 million, he can put a ring on my finger. I don't care what y'all think about that. I don't give a damn. For $728 million? Whoo! I would have worked out that marriage. I would have found a way to work that out. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. We would have been in counseling. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see my favorite counselor, Dr. Tamer, Bryant, David. Listen, we'd have worked that out. $728 million? Ain't no way in hell. But it just goes to show you that you can have all the money you want and all the money you need and some more and still not have a good marriage. Money's not going to make the marriage any better. And for all of you fighting over money and you think that the reason you're not getting along is because of finances, this story goes to show you that that's probably not true. You hear me? Most people think that money and communication are the reasons why their relationships and marriages don't work out. And I sat in this chair today right here to tell you that that's probably not the case. Because I know a guy in Dubai who has enough to pay somebody $728 million and his marriage still didn't work out. Because money is a mask. Money is a mask. And once you lift the mask, you see what's really wrong. And what's wrong with most relationships have nothing to do with money. Has to do with the character of the people that make them up. How many times have I told you this, Steve? No relationship can rise higher than the people who make it up. If the people ain't nothing, then the relationship ain't gonna be nothing. If you're married to a liar, you're gonna have lies in your marriage. If you lied to somebody who ain't, you know what, then that's what it's gonna be. I'm trying not to cuss. Because I just told y'all I was saved, but then I correctly told you that I wasn't all the way. And listen, people, newsflash, rich people get divorced. Newsflash, rich people are depressed. Rich people get sad. Money's not the cure for everything. I know you live in America, you think America will just cure everything. It won't. Leader of Dubai, the ruler of Dubai, he ain't even a leader, he's the ruler of Dubai, has to pay his ex-wife $728 million. Money is not a protection from the issues that people are living with and manifesting. And you can have all the money in the world and still be out of your damn mind. And if you marry all the money in the world and he's still out of his damn mind, then guess what you married? Not just all the money in the world. You married a nut. Although for $728 million, Steve, I would marry him too. I'm just saying, that's a lot of money. You know what I could do with that? God, how many Range Rovers I would buy? Listen, you can't hide behind your poverty or your wealth. That's the point I'm trying to make. You can't hide behind your poverty or your wealth. Your trauma is coming out. Your issues is coming out. In the end, who you are rather, shows up no matter what you have. Who you are is going to manifest no matter what you own. So instead of just trying to own something, you might want to start to be something better. Because you don't want to get married and end up having to pay $728 million to somebody you don't like. You know I'm right. Let's talk about North Korea. This is a great one. All right? Y'all put your seatbelts on for this one. Oh, I miss talking to you people. Did y'all miss me? I miss doing this. In North Korea, the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, has banned, that's the dead guy, don't show him yet. Not yet. You're killing my lead, Hailey. The current North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, has banned laughing in North Korea while they mourn the annual remembrance of his father's death. Now show it, Hailey. There it is. That's his dad, Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il is that guy. His son, Kim Jong-un, has commanded that nobody in North Korea can laugh. Did y'all get that? Let's try it again, because you didn't respond right. Neither did you, Steve. He has commanded that there is no laughing in North Korea during this time of mourning. He banned laughing, people, okay? I just want that to settle in. You need to get that in your spirits. Get it in your spirit. He banned laughing, not metaphorically, literally. Literally, you can go to jail and be punished for laughing in North Korea. All right, let me say this. Democracy may be messy and annoying, but when you live in a country full of, and listen, democracy is annoying. Democracy will drive you crazy. And yes, we live in a country full of stupid people, okay? America's full of stupid people. But I would rather deal with the stupid people in the democracy than live under the tyranny of somebody who thinks they can ban laughing. Give me democracy any day. I know America's full of dumb people, stupid people, crazy people, people out of the damn, people fighting on planes. And democracy is messy, but give me democracy any day over dictatorship. First of all, how do you ban laughing? Can somebody explain that to me? I mean, in the chat. Just put that in the chat if you got to answer to that question. How do you ban laughing? What do you do? What do you do if something's funny? What do you do if you're watching my show right now in North Korea and you know how funny I am? Can you laugh? Like, how do you ban laughing? What happens if somebody says something funny? I mean, what do you do? I mean, it's crazy. How can one man tell you that you can't laugh? Now, before you get all judgmental, you ready? You ready for this? Put your seatbelt on. And before you get all judgmental about the crazy guy in North Korea making the North Koreans not telling them they can't laugh, let's talk about that church you go to. Uh-oh. Ready, Steve? We about to go. Because you about to get all judgmental about the North Korean leader talking about his people can't laugh. Let's talk about that church you go to. Because in that church you go to, women can't wear pants. North Koreans can't laugh. But in your church, the women can't wear pants. And the North Koreans can't laugh. But in your church, women can't wear makeup. And women can't preach. Huh? And in your church, women have to wear long dresses and long, because women have to wear long dresses and long skirts because, of course, a woman is responsible for a man's inability to control himself. Of course. It's her fault that he can't control his looks and urges. Huh? Let's talk about the music your bishop won't let you listen to. Huh? You probably never even heard of Roddy Ricch, huh? You don't know who Roddy Ricch is because your pastor said that music is of the devil. Now, the North Korean leader said that his people can't laugh, but your bishop, your apostle, your pastor, your prophet is telling you what music you can listen to. You laughed at the North Korean pastor, and a lot of people right now are laughing at you because you sit up under somebody every week telling you what TV shows you can watch. Let's talk about all the songs you can't hear because Bishop Pigfeet said you can't listen to them. I got to take a break. But you know why people are not running back to church? People are not running back to church, and most churches are still empty. It's because people don't want to deal with the dictatorship. They don't want to deal with Kim Jong-un, and they don't want to deal with Bishop Pigfeet and Pastor Porkchop. They don't want to deal with that. They much rather stay home. By the way, let me take this break, but by the way, I didn't come to church for you to tell me what movie I can see. I didn't come to church for you to monitor my music. I didn't come to church for you to tell me what to wear. I came to church for God, and you ain't him or her, whichever one God happens to be. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I got back, everybody. Steve's going to hell. Don't ask why. You don't need to know, but just know you should be praying for him. Steve's in here with me today. My man 2-3 is missing. A lot of people are missing today, but Steve is here, Hiley's here, the crew's here. All right, let's do some more headlines, people. You see how I caught them off guard in the control room right there? I did that on purpose. Let's talk about Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving. You guys know I love to talk about Kyrie. Look at his photo. Kyrie's a handsome guy, but he's also a numbnut. And Kyrie Irving is set to rejoin the Brooklyn Nets part-time. The Brooklyn Nets have decided to bring him back. Yes, but the problem is, here's the first problem, he can't even play. He can't even play because, you know, he's tested positive or inconclusive for COVID. Kyrie Irving was not playing because he refused to get vaccinated in a league where 90% of the players are vaccinated because Kyrie knows more than everybody else, and the earth is flat and they're aliens and all of that, right? And they're putting microchips in the vaccine. So he didn't want to get vaccinated, so the Brooklyn Nets said, you can't play part-time, you can't play. And then they ran into some trouble, a lot of players in the NBA being sick, and then, you know, they're losing games, so they said, oh, wait a minute, we can bring Kyrie back part-time. But he can't play, by the way, even though the Brooklyn Nets have recanted on their principles to let him play. He can't play because he's tested positive or inconclusive for COVID, so he's in COVID protocol. The one who wouldn't get a vaccine, remarkably, how did this happen, probably has COVID, because that probably happens, you know, when you don't have the vaccine. Now, you can also get it with the vaccine, but it definitely happens when you don't. Now, I don't want to talk about Kyrie Irving because I'm going to talk about him maybe on Thursday. I got a whole thing about him. I want to talk about the Brooklyn Nets because I don't expect this from Brooklyn, okay? Hiley, are you with me? Hiley's not from Brooklyn, but spiritually he kind of is. I'm just saying, I expect this from the Los Angeles Lakers because L.A. is fickle. Sorry. Oh, everybody in the studio is mad. All the guys are mad. Look at them. They about to throw stuff at me. I don't give a damn. L.A.'s fickle. Brooklyn, we're not supposed to be fickle. We're supposed to say what we mean and mean exactly what. I don't expect this from Brooklyn. But I got to remember that the owner of the Nets, he ain't from Brooklyn either. So here's where the fickleness comes from. When you go to Brooklyn, Steve, that ain't how we act. We say we're going to sock you in the jaw. Guess what's going to happen? I'm just saying, people. I'm just saying. And this is how you know that the Brooklyn Nets did not believe in what they were saying when they said it. Because if you change your mind when things get difficult and you start losing and things aren't going well, if you change your principles because it's more expedient to have a different sort of principle or to reverse what you said, then guess what? You didn't mean it when you said it. And you know how I know you didn't mean it when you said it? Because you ain't doing what you said you was going to do. And if you do what you say, then that means you meant it when it came out of your mouth. So you told me Kyrie wasn't playing because you wasn't putting up with no part-time players. And now that you need players, the first thing you went to do, you went to grab the part-time player because you didn't mean it when it came out your mouth. If you abandon what you believe in because it's difficult, it tells me that you didn't believe in it because you just abandoned it. That's the first thing you threw off the boat. If the first thing you throw off the boat is your wife, then you can't get to the shore and tell me you love her. Because that's the first damn person you threw off the boat. You could have grabbed one of the kids. You could have grabbed Steve and threw him off the boat first. The first thing you do is go get Kyrie because you didn't believe it when you said it. You was just trying to virtue signal a little bit. If you live by a principle only when things are going well, then guess what? You don't live by a principle because things are not always going to go well, people. You're going to run into problems. Difficulties that challenge what you believe. And nobody needs faith when your bills are paid. Nobody needs to believe in something greater than them or you when everything is going well. You need faith when you don't have the money. You need faith when you can't see the way. You need faith when all hell's breaking out and you're losing games and you don't have any players, but you tell the devil or Steve, one of the two, you tell him, look, come hell or high water, Kyrie ain't playing for us because we don't do no part-time playing. But that's not what they did. Now, I understand the value of compromise, and compromise can be important. I believe in compromise. I understand that. But let me just say this very clearly. Compromise is one thing and capitulation is something else. And the line ain't that thin between them. That was good. You didn't give me no help over it. I get no help. I need a studio audience because this guy is giving me nothing. Sometimes you got to take a stand, people. You got to take a stand. You got to take a stand, and you got to draw a line. And sometimes you got to tell people, you ready? Not in this house. Sometimes you got to tell people, we don't do this in this house. We don't say this in this house. We don't act this way. Sometimes you got to tell people, not in this relationship. No. We don't do that in this relationship. And you got to take that stand. And if you lose them, then you never had them. Huh? If they walk away, they were never yours. If they can't respect your principles, then they don't deserve access to your person. And you know what I mean by person. I'm trying to be holy, but you know what I mean. Hear me when I tell you, man. Sometimes you got to tell people, look, not as long as I work here. As long as I work here, this is how you have to talk to me. As long as I work here, this is how you have to treat me. You draw a line and you hold fast to your principles. And you don't change them because you're losing some games or things aren't going well. Do you know I would rather be by my damn self than spend one night with somebody I told myself I would never be with. I really could walk off the set right now and end the show. I really could. Oh my God. Anyway, good luck, Brooklyn. I say that facetiously, full of sarcasm and sardonically, because you're going to end up in a mess, because this is a mess. You went back on your principles, and nothing good's going to come out of that. So good luck bringing back Kyrie. Put Kyrie's picture back up. Come on, put him back up so we can just see him. That's our brother. We love you, Kyrie. We just need you to be a little humble and sane. All right, let's talk about some students at the University of Oregon. Can we do that? Am I on to that yet? Yeah? I'm on to that? So students at the University of Oregon did something absolutely amazing. So Lily Parker is a counselor at the University of Oregon, and she's known for caring about students and making sure that they felt like they were a part of something. And that's her. Look at her. Keep that picture up there, Hailey. She looks like everybody's auntie, everybody's favorite cousin. How do you not love her? She is it. You just look at her smile. You just want to hug her. And she, just looking at her, you can tell that's the kind of woman that she is. And she's been helping students as a counselor at the University of Oregon for a long time. Looking out for people, helping people, making people who are unwanted and feel a little ostracized and, you know, all of that, dispossessed, feel like they welcome, like they cared for. Because that's who Lily Parker is. Well, Lily Parker, put her picture back up there, Hailey. Come on, Hailey. She's been trying to get a house. She's been trying to get a house, her first home, and she's never owned a home before. And so, you know, committed her life to helping students. She's finally decided, you know what, I need to get me a house. And students from the University of Oregon found out that she was trying to get a house. And because she had loved them and cared for them so much, guess what they did? They raised money for her to get a house. I love this story. I love this story. I love this story more than pizza. And y'all know how much I love pizza. I love this story. Let me tell you why. They raised $75,000 to help her get a house. Students! I mean, how broke my sons were in college. I was a guy. You know how broke you are in college? Huh? You broke in college. They raised $75,000 for this woman to get this house because she gave them love and compassion. And when you give, giving makes room for more people. When you're about the business of helping people, it comes back to you. Let me tell you something. Ready for this? If you don't give nothing, don't expect nothing either. If you ain't giving nothing, don't expect nothing. But if you give of your time and your love and your commitment and the best of who you are, guess what happens? When you least expect it, when you're not even looking for it, when you don't even know it, Students get together and raise $75,000 for you, only because you love them. God, I wish I could throw my shoe and not break the camera. Love did that. Love did that for her. All she did was love him and care about him. And that love effectuated, it actualized, it instigated in them, it agitated in them the desire to help her. Because history remembers the givers, people, not the takers. That's the people who take your money and take your time and take your love and take your body, take your good sex. I don't know where that came from. Other people just take. History remembers the givers, the ones who sacrifice. It just pays to be good to people, man. It pays to be good to people. Be good to people. Be good to people because that's what you want to do. That's who you are. That's what you're hoping for. Be good to people. Be good to people not because they deserve it, because most of the people in your life don't deserve your goodness. And the people in your life who deserve it now may not deserve it a week from now. But just be good to people because it's just good to be good to people. What would you say if I told you that you are creating your future right now? That you are right now creating the content of your future by how good you are and how much you give today? Woo, that just got deep, didn't it? That you are determining the content of your July by what you do in December. Because it will come back to you. It will come back to you. And I promise you, all the good that you've given and all the times that you've helped people and all the times that you poured into people and were kind to people and listened to people and supported people, it's going to come back to you. I promise you, you were not good in vain. You did not give in vain. And the people you may have given to, maybe they didn't say thank you and maybe they didn't appreciate it, but guess what? I told you I wasn't saved. The hell with them. The hell with them. Your reward will not come, and normally it doesn't come from the people you were good to. Good, that's good. Your reward will come from people whose names you don't even know. You know how I know? There's a woman in Oregon named Lily Parker, and she helped make students feel like they belonged and that they were special. And she mothered them and nursed them and brought them into the fullness of their strength. And students who didn't even know her story, her journey, they just heard she was looking for a house, and they raised $75,000 to help her get one. All the good that you have done and will do, and all the good that you have received is reflected in the good you've already given. So here it is. You ready? If you want more, give more. We're about to go into the new year, right? We're about to go into the new year. 2022, Steve. I don't know what his resolutions are, but I'm scared to hear them. But whatever they are, let me just say it. Whatever you want, that's what you give. Want more money? Give more money. Want more love? Give more love. Want more time? Give more time. Give more, get more. It's a simple principle. It works. I don't care what your religion is or nothing. It works. You want more? Give more. And when we come back, I'm going to give you some more. Some more of the book of showing people. You know we're having a good time. Don't laugh. We're in North Korea. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. So, lots been going on since I left you. I wasn't on, live last week, but I found something in the news that I thought was kind of interesting. You see how I'm slow to set this up, because sometimes when I get to talk about Trump's story, I like to just build it up. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about what happened last week with 3 voters in Florida. You guys ready for this? Did you hear about this? So 3 voters in Florida were arrested for allegedly, they wanted to make sure I got the allegedly in. You should have saw it. Allegedly, they were arrested for allegedly casting more than 1 vote for Donald Trump. Well, there you have it. 3 voters, Jay Kecknick, John Ryder, and Joan Halstead were all arrested for allegedly casting multiple votes for Donald Trump in the state of Florida. Let's say it again, because it just kind of makes my soul feel good. So 3 Trump voters, let's say their names again. Jay Kecknick, why I keep saying John? Jay Kecknick, John Ryder, and Joan Halstead, all arrested for allegedly casting multiple votes for Donald Trump. And I keep repeating it because here's why. Isn't it funny how the entire argument of the Trump campaign about the 2020 election has been and continues to be, it was rigged and it was stolen because people were casting illegal votes. And the claim has been from the Trump campaign and from the MAGA nuts that all these black people in Georgia, all these black people in Michigan, all these black people in Pennsylvania, Detroit, Philly, and Atlanta, that's really what they're saying, that all these black and brown people cast all these illegal votes and ballots and multiple votes and they're saying that's the only reason Donald Trump lost. The only reason Donald Trump lost is because black people in Philadelphia, black people in Atlanta, black and brown people in Detroit cast all these illegal votes. That's why he lost. Never mind the fact that he was a racist. Never mind the fact that he was accused of raping women or a woman. Never mind the fact that he was a horrible leader. Never mind the fact that he's a narcissist. Don't even think about the fact that he treated COVID like a mild inconvenience. 800,000 people are dead. Never mind the fact that he suggested that we drink bleach. Do you remember that? Remember that, Steve? He suggested that we drink bleach. Oh, no, none of that's the reason why he lost. He didn't lose because he told people to drink bleach. He didn't lose because he raped a woman or is accused of raping a woman. He didn't lose because he said you can grab him by the... He didn't know. That's not why he lost. Oh, no, because he treated COVID like it was, like stubbing your toe. He lost because all these black and brown people in Atlanta, Philly, and Detroit cast all these votes. All these imaginary black and brown people. How about this, Donald? Yeah, I called you Donald. Get over it. How about this, Donald? How about the only illegal voting that we've been able to find so far happens to come from people who support you? It all come from you, sir. Are you listening, Steve? Didn't I tell you about projection? Didn't I tell you about what Joe Manchin? We're back at it. People project on you what they're actually doing. I'm about to give you some really dating advice. This is for free. I'm not going to charge you for this. You ready? Whenever you're in a relationship and somebody starts just randomly out of the blue, just starts accusing you of a bunch of things, you should probably be suspicious about what they're doing. Because you got to ask yourself, where does this come from? Especially if you know you ain't doing nothing. Now, if you're like somebody in the studio who's known for doing things, then this advice doesn't apply to you. Oh, let's do it. Hey, guess what? I like Christmas. I like Christmas, and I like Christmas things. And so I wanted to show you guys some things that I thought, and share with you some things that I thought were absolutely amazing for Christmas. I got about 4 minutes to do it. So let's do some, do we have a bumper for this? A Christmas bumper? No? Maybe? No bumper? Okay, no bumper. Oh, that's supposed to be the best thing. Okay, I messed that up. That was on me. That was on me. I thought with the red in the back, you know what I'm saying? I got all caught up. Okay, so these are the best things that I saw over the Christmas break. That was on me. Look at this little girl. Play the video, Hailey. Wait, play that again, Hailey, because she was getting it. Get it. Oh. Woo! Is she not killing it? That little girl is slaying everything around. Everything around her will be dead when she's done. I love seeing people happy. I love seeing people dance. I love seeing people experience joy. It brings me joy to see people who I don't even know, like happy and having joy. I think listen, here's your homework. I think everybody ought to dance at least one more time before the end of the year, okay? This is the last week of the year, and I think you ought to dance at least one more time before the end of the year. I mean, you need to shake your tail feather. You hear me? Shake your tail feather so hard till the feather come off. I think everybody should dance at least one more time for the end of the year. And I don't care how you dance, okay? You can do your little holy dance, because I know some of y'all are just saved and you're going to heaven and you don't listen to the world's music because Pastor Kim Jong-un told you not to listen to, Rowdy Rich. So do your holy, I don't care if you do a holy dance. I don't care if you slow dance. I don't care if you twerk. I said that for Jocelyn, my producer. I don't care if you twerk and you hurt your neck because you're twerking so hard. I don't care if you do the stecky leg. I don't care what kind of dance you do, but dance. Dance before the end of the year. Matter of fact, I don't care if you do that night. That Nigerian wedding dance everybody does at a Nigerian wedding. You see all over. I don't care if you do that. Every time I go on social media, I see that people doing the Nigerian wedding dance. I don't care how you dance. Just dance, people. Just dance. Get it in. Feel good. Dance because you made it. Dance because you survived. Dance because you ain't dead. Dance because 800,000 people are dead from a disease that you may have gotten or avoided, and you ain't dead yet. Dance because you've eaten almost every day, you got a roof over your head, and you got some clothes on your back. Do I need to keep going? Dance because you are wonderful, you're amazing, you're a mess and you're complicated, but you're also a tremendous piece, a marvel of God's perfection. Dance because you have a job. Dance because you get a direct deposit. Hello! And if that ain't good enough to make you dance, remember this. If a child can dance, then what the hell are you waiting for? Let's take a break, people. We'll be right back with more Ask Dr. Shaw. Are we live? I didn't know we were live. Nobody told me. They're getting back at me for what I did to them over the break. Anyway, listen, so let's do some more best things. Live TV, people. Live TV. The good news is I'm a professional. I do this for a living. So I got some more great things that I saw as it relates to holiday cheer, warmth, and laughter. And so I saw this story about rapper Tory Lanez. Did I say it right? Tory Lanez. So rapper Tory Lanez donated $100,000 worth of toys and clothing to single moms, okay? Tory Lanez. Now, first of all, I have no problems in admitting that I actually don't really know who this guy is. Is he the guy that shot Megan Thee Stallion? He's allegedly. You got to say allegedly around here. So allegedly, he's the guy that shot Megan Thee Stallion. And so, listen, and that's probably why I wanted to do this story, because, good job, son. Create some, Tory, I'm talking directly to you. Create some good karma for yourself. This is good. You know what I'm saying? $100,000 given out to single moms and working with their kids during Christmas. Shout out to that. And it's a great story because it reminds you, and listen, at one stage of the year, you can, be in the headlines for something that's not so great. And another stage of the year, you could be in the headlines for doing something that's absolutely amazing. You just never know what the year is going to bring. You just never know where you're going to end up. You know what I'm saying? You can start off having a terrible day and end up with the best day of your life by 10 o'clock at night. And so, Tory is doing good things in spite of whatever he allegedly did in that car. Because it wasn't a car, right? Was it a car? Well, you pay attention to the show? Okay. I'm going to kill him after this show is over. I'm just saying. Here's the point I'm really trying to make. I'm really just trying to tell you that redemption is real. Redemption is real, and it's available, and it's free. And if you want to change the narrative of what you've done, then do something different. How about that? If you want people to give people something else to say about you other than the fact that allegedly you shot somebody in the back of a car in the foot. Yeah, do some giving. A shout out to Tory, Lanez. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? I don't affirm anybody shooting anybody, of course, but I'm just saying it's always good to create a different, if you want a different future, you got to give yourself a shot at telling a different story. Oh God, I'm doing my good teaching. That's what all of us ought to do. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you don't have $100,000 to give, but if you have a past, you've done some things that you ain't proud of, you might want to start doing something different so that we have something else to say about you. And your legacy won't be your mistakes. Now, I'm not sure if Tory's going to outrun this, what he did to Megan or allegedly did to Megan, because she's pretty popular. But we'll see what happens. Even if the world doesn't forgive him or let him out the dungeon for what allegedly happened, he's still creating the content of the life that he probably deserves to live, which is a good one, by the way. So I got another great story for you. Army vet Mike Esmond donated nearly, check this out, $96,000 for the past 3 years, over the past 3 years rather, to pay local resident utility bills. This guy right here, put him back up there, Hiley. Come on, put him back up there. That guy right there over the last 3 years has given $96,000 to pay people's utility bills. That guy right there, which comes out to what? To about over $30,000 a year. He pays other people's utility bills who can't afford to pay the bills themselves. That guy right there pays people's utility bills just because it's the holiday and he wants to do a good thing. Shout out to Mike Esmond, man. I mean, it blessed a lot of people. I remember the time, Steve, let me tell you, I remember times when I couldn't pay my utility bill, okay? I remember the time when I didn't have a plug to have a utility bill. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all been blessed your whole life. Some of us have been homeless. We know what it is. You feel me? Shout out to Mike, man. And this guy did it because, and this is the part of the story that I really love, why I wanted to bring it to you. He does this every year, $30,000 a year almost, over $30,000 a year paying other people's utility bills. He does it because he remembers a time in his life when he didn't have the money to pay his utility bill. That's why he does it. You get that? He pays other people's bills because he remembers the time in his life when he didn't have the money to do it. So now that he has the money to do it, he remembers where he came from. He remembers where he came from. And that's what you need to do. When you get to where you're going, and let me tell you to your face, look at me. Come on, do a real close-up highlight. Get in here, right here. You are going to get to where you're trying to go. You're going to be great. You're going to have everything that you want to have. Nobody can stop you because nobody can curse what God has already blessed. Nobody can close what God has opened. And you are going to have everything that you deserve, everything that you want. Money is not going to be a problem for you. If I was in church, I'd tell you to lift your hands and receive this. Money's not going to be a problem for you. I'm gonna take the break. Y'all just lift your hands in the control place. Money's not gonna be a problem for you. You're gonna have money. You're gonna have wealth. You're gonna have stability. You're gonna have safety. I promise you, your life is gonna end up in the great place you want it. And when you get there, promise me something, that you will not only climb, but you will pull. You will climb to the top and pull other people who are where you used to be into the greatness that you now enjoy. Let's take a break. We gonna keep going? Oh, good, I got more time. This story represents the best, the absolute best of what you should do with success. You feel me? You see, success is never just for you. Success is always for the people who supported you and always for the people who mirror back to you what you had to survive to get there. Put Mike's picture back up, Hiley. Put it back up. Because I want you to look at the face of someone who has a story and a journey and who sacrificed and made some mistakes. But he came through it, and when he came through it, he remembered where he came from. He remembered the journey, and now he honors other people who are on the journey that he happens to be on. Put the camera back on me because I'm going to talk to the judgmental people. For all you self-righteous, judgmental people who you've got delivered and you're better and your bills are paid and your bread is buttered and your heat is on and you got good cable. And now you're looking down on people who can't keep a job, who got some issues, who's dealing with addictions and trauma. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Because there but for the grace of God go any of us. Most people are one or two calamities away from being homeless and crazy. And if God's blessed you to have what you have right now and to do what you do right now, don't you sit and act like you ain't never had to climb. You didn't drop down out of heaven. You climbed up out of hell just like me. And when you come up out of hell, you remember the fire. And you remember the fire so well that you can still smell the smoke in other people's clothes. God, I wish I had a shoe. Huh? That's why I like Mike. Because he can see the smoke in other people's clothes, and it reminds him of the fire that didn't take his life. Whew. Let's take a break. Hey, everybody, welcome back. So, listen, we are in, the last week of the year. And we're in Kwanzaa. I don't know what Kwanzaa day is this. I don't know. First day of Kwanzaa? So anyway, I thought the best way to end the year would be for the next 2 times that we gather, because I'll be back on Thursday, is for us to do one of the things that I absolutely love doing on this show, which is helping people. And we do that in a little segment we call Ask Dr. Sean. Yes. So take a look at this video sent in by, I think, Wayne. Let's watch it.
Hi, Dr. Sean. My name is Wayne Charles Simpson, and I was born and raised in Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York. And I have a question. Growing up, my dad was my favorite superhero. He represented courage, love, truth, honesty, things like that. And I look to him for almost everything, and he taught me about the world before the world taught me anything. And nowadays, I see it a little bit different. I see things like most children that I see. Um, they look outside of their parents to find love, to find strength, to find courage. And my question for you is, how can we resolve that in the community? How can we change that and have parents being a living, breathing example for their children?
Okay. Okay. It's an interesting question, Wayne. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't think it's either or. I'm going to reject the premise of your question without rejecting your question, or the spirit of your question, I should say. Because the premise of your question is that families that are constructed where kids look outside of the family for inspiration and support and love are somehow fundamentally defective, and those kids are infected by something that they need to be cured from. You were blessed. Could we start there? You were absolutely fundamentally blessed to have parents and to live and to have a home situation where you could draw that strength and that courage and that inspiration and love from. And you were blessed to have people who were competent enough, mature enough, grown enough, awake enough, aware enough to give it to you. Not only did you have people there, you had people who were available and ready to provide for you what you needed. You were doubly blessed. Not everybody has that. And the reasons for that, there are a multiplicity of reasons for that. Some systemic, some personal, some generational, some spiritual, some racial. There are a million things I can say about why that's the case. But here's how I really want to answer your question. I fundamentally believe that we get those things that we need to accomplish what we were sent here to do. And whatever you need to get to accomplish that, which is the purpose of your life, you will receive it. And there is no particular source that you have to receive it from. Would it be great to receive it from your biological parents in your house, mom and dad, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, forming this village around you? That is great, wonderful. But it's not everybody's story, it's not everybody's ideal, and it's not necessary for everybody. Some people need to go the different way. They need to go the long way. Would Malcolm X be Malcolm X had he grown up with his father and his mother still being in his life for his whole life? Maybe Malcolm needed to get in trouble. Maybe he needed to go into that group home. Maybe he needed to go to jail. Maybe he needed to find the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in that setting for him to become the Honorable Malcolm X. Everybody has a different journey, and the places we pull to get our inspiration and the places we pull to get the love that we need comes from different places all the time. It would be great if parents could give it to us, but some parents aren't capable of giving their kids what they need to become great men and women because the parents ain't figured it out yet. The way we resolve that tension is that we say to a child every time we see one or encounter one or love one, we say to that child, I hope and pray you can get it from the people who knew you first and the ones who created you, but in the event that you can't, you can always get it from me. I will always be there to help you and support you. Yeah. Let's not delimit where kids can get what they need to become the great ones that they're supposed to be. Let's open up and say, look wherever you can to find whatever you need to make you whatever you were born to be. And let's not sort of fall victim to the, common notions of heteronormative, white, European concepts of what family ought to be. Because I only had a mom. And I didn't grow up in a broken home. I only had a mom, and I was not illegitimate. I only had a mom, but she gave me exactly what I needed for me to sit here and for you to be asking me the question and for me to be giving you the answer. All right, let's do one more. Someone sent me, DM me this question, this one real quick. So this Christmas was one for the books. My boyfriend of 5 years asked me to be his wife. I eagerly accepted. But while I'm excited to spend the rest of my life with him, I hate my ring. Would it be shallow of me to ask him if we can pick a different ring? All right. I don't have a lot of time on this. Okay. You should have the ring you want. I think that's important because, it's your ring. And so I think it's okay to have that conversation. But let me warn you, don't make your marriage about the ring. Okay? His love for you should be more important to you than the ring. Don't reduce what you have down to what's on your finger. Don't do that. Don't let the gold and the diamond misrepresent what the true nature of a relationship is. And I'm sure he loves you. He probably wants you to have the ring that you want. But be sensitive to whether or not he can afford that ring, because you don't want to embarrass him, right? You don't want to undermine his generosity and the sharing of his heart, because maybe he gave you what he could afford. You follow me? Be very careful in this conversation, that you don't send the wrong connotation, that you're reducing the relationship down to you're being happy about a ring, and that you're undermining his ability to have pride in this moment, having bought you a ring. You should have the ring that you want, but how you get it is going to determine a lot about whether or not you should be married in the first place. That's some good teaching, Dr. Sean. How much time I got left? Are we over? Somebody tell me something, because I swear I'll just keep talking. Listen, thank you for watching, everybody. I will be back on Thursday, so you guys come and join me. And to the leader of Dubai, I'm available. $728 million, I'm right here. You guys have a good night, all right? Take care of each other, be good to each other, and I love you. That's what we do around here. We love each other. Love you, Steve-O. He said he loved me too. I gotta go.